Good on YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's video on YouTube. It's pretty much one of these videos where you just say now you see it and now you don't, because obviously I've been away for quite some time on my YouTube channel of late, and it's going to be a bit of an announcement video, but also a gardening tour video, because I could tell what guys say, there's been a massive change, a massive, significant cycle of different things that have been going around. Oh my goodness me, I'll tell you what, there's been lots and lots of stuff. We've got lots and lots of nasturtiums. Some of the leaves are starting to decay here. Okay, some of which are actually straight for displaying signs of decay and damage caused by various pest insects like caterpillars and other whatnot. But as you can see, we've got a massive swath of different plants here, especially the cosmos. Now, amazingly, when I had a look at this cosmos, there's actually a bit of genetic pink variation here. So if I have a look at this pink cosmos versus the other one there, that one there is smaller, but if you notice that this one here has actually got a bit of a faintish looking shade of pink, whereas this one is a bit lighter. But I've also noticed there's a bit of an infection going around at the cosmos here, and I've just created a little hole on the petal, which is not that great to see. And then we've actually got more nasturtiums right here. There's more tucked in the back. There's a zinnia. In fact, we're actually getting so many zinnias. There's a red one right there, which unfortunately has sunken down to basically the depths of it. It's actually quite nice somehow seeing that many different flowers and whatnot. So there's another zinnia couple like so. Strange enough, this actually does look like a bunch of good news around here. And then we've also got this. This zinnia flower here has actually been vaporized. Sadly, this one here, I was hoping for it to become a seed head, but sadly, it just didn't. Now, I wonder why some of these zinnia seed heads have actually become a little bit loose, although this one here is actually doing a much better job. There were some squirrels and other animals there, like birds and other whatnot, I think, that were just around at my backyard garden. I'll talk about that one later on. So, we've got a lot of nasturtiums and cosmoses. This one there has got a bit of a wilting flower like that. Look at that. Look at the flower on this thing here. It's straightforward lost its petals. Now, I'm wondering if this cosmos is going to straightforward turn into a seed head now that its flowering cycle has straightforward stopped. And lo and behold, look what we've got. We've actually got a tiny and small looking sunflower. And right behind it is a carder bee landing on a nasturtium flower. It's amazing to see why some, or most, if not all, flowers that I've been straightforward planting has actually started to persist and to keep on growing as much throughout the rest of the autumn, which is actually quite strange. And you might be thinking, hey Ivan, autumn is not the best and plant some more flowers or garden or try and do some gardening or stuff right at the back of your garden at this time of year, because, well, temperatures are straightforward crippling. Well, it does make sense, but at the same time, we've got a lot of other things in the garden that also seem to happen, like there are some seeds being straightforward germinated. We've actually got so many nasturtium seeds. I'm actually not totally surprised here. Some of the nasturtiums will self-seed by themselves, which will be quite amazing to see why. Strange, isn't it? We've got a geranium plant like that. Sorry for the green, but there you go. We've actually got a few flowers trying to attempt on blossoming at that time, which is quite interesting but unusual to know. I'm going to put one of the little seed heads into one of... Well, let's just say here is my entire seed collection. Lots of nasturtium seeds I've been collecting. Just a big collection of it. Right, I'm going to go up towards where I usually start. So here we go. So there's another sunflower head, which has just started to straightforward form. Then we've also got a whole bunch of tomato plant action going on here. Sorry, I've just farted on. So we've got some tomato plants with yellow flowers and other whatnot. But I'm actually going to look carefully and see, again, look, nasturtium seeds. I highly say to myself, hey, they are literally everywhere. But one thing I've noticed is that I'm also starting to see lots of tomato plants forming fruit. Now, I'm actually sort of thinking, and look at that, there's even more right over, oh my goodness me, look, there's even more. There's lots and lots of tomato fruits germinating. They've actually just started to form. Now, I'm probably thinking they're not going to last, because it will be straightforward coming up towards winter time, and I'm pretty sure when time arrives, sadly the tomatoes won't have that enough energy to get. I don't think the sun is actually going to be that abundant, if you know what I mean. The amount of sunshine we'll be getting is getting less and less and less as we crawl up towards winter. But then the most interesting aspect is that we're starting to see a massive swath of nasturtium leaves. Now that is very nice to know. Very impressive sight to see. I'm actually straightforward surprised of just how immaculate and also widespread this war of nasturtiums has just sprawled and sprung up like mad. In fact, has just gone totally massive. In fact, some are actually towering up towards the hedgerows. An impressive sight to see, but I'm actually going to straightforward end here because I think you might have seen this garden for a long period of time. So many times I think, hey, I don't need to cover it as much as I would always expect to do. I'm actually really pleased with what I've done in my backyard garden so far, but I've actually got a bit of an announcement here. You may have noticed that my YouTube channel has always been highly associated of being a toy review. Now, I've actually decided to make some few changes. Now, even though I've gone through a long period of time making videos, I think my YouTube channel of doing toy reviews is actually getting less frequent these days. Now, why am I actually saying here is because there's been a lot of changes so far that I'm actually going to go up to. Well, I can't really discuss because, well, there's been a lot of recent tough times around. I'd say about, let's just say, I can't really tell. I'll probably say about last week and also 2 weeks ago. So there's been some relatively hard times that I just had to get into, which I won't discuss here. I was dealing with another person who is... Don't want to know about him, but it's just that, you know, I just had a relatively tough time with him. So I just took a break. I did make toy reviews and that sort of thing, but I just felt like maybe it's time for me to just take a break from toy reviews and that's it. But then, at the same time, that's also sort of making me think, maybe that's not the best way to go for. I mean, that's just me saying it to me as a person, but I'm going to straightforward leave this video here. There's some cooking on the background, but if you really enjoyed this video about my gardening tour so far, please give the video a very good like, subscribe for more from that tour reviews and other video formats like this in the future, other video topics like that. And as always, thanks so much for watching and bye for now.